Hello everyone, let's talk about one of the latest PC part which is now being widely accommodated and used by the latest processors from Intel and AMD and their respective motherboard manufacturers. I'm talking about DDR5 memory. In this video, we will be talking about Kingston Fury Beast RGB DDR5 memory. They are the signature black stylish heat spreader design that makes it look aggressive, and the DDR5 written on the top ensures you know that the RAM stick is DDR5. One small detail here is that the RAM has on-die ECC bracket ODECC, which helps maintain data integrity, which is a small added bonus. The top RGB diffusion bar has up to 12 LEDs and is great to look at. It has infrared sync technology which allows the LEDs of the RAM to automatically sync with your motherboard RGB software. However, if you want more RGB customization, you can use the Kingston CTRL or control RGB software and select 16 presets or configure your own color style. These RAMs are on the qualified vendor list QVL on the most reputed motherboards, so compatibility isn't an issue here. These RAMs are also Intel XMP 3.0 and AMD EXPO certified, so you can just plug in, select your OC and profile and game on. So here is how the Fury control software is all about. So we are going to check the RGB effects on the Fury Beast DDR5 RAM. So we have opened the Fury control software, and over here we see what you see on screen with the effects and certain options, such as you can turn the LED light off or dim it to 10%, and a few settings here and there with speed, brightness and directions. So first we'll see the rainbow effect, and after the rainbow effect I'm going to put the effect called the prism, which is basically shows lights that emit from a prism, and you can obviously change the speed, brightness and delay time. Then you go on to the spectrum mode, which is again a color sequence, and you have these options as well. Then you go to slide effects, which is something like this. You can select whatever color you want, and probably you can, it just goes on a single color. So say if you select a green, so we can just like go into green. You can have a color sequence, and then instead of say you have green, red, green, orange, blue and yellow, and then purple and so on and so forth. You can just do that. You can also change the direction of the flow of the RGB as well. Moving on to the next one is the wind effect, which is like this, as you see. You can also have single colors as well, so you can depend on whatever color you want. Then you have static, which is basically a static color. You can have independent zones basically, so you can customize which particular LED among the 12 LEDs of the first RAM and the second RAM, what you want to customize. Say for example, I take the fourth LED and I customize it to green, and I customize again, so you can see just one particular green LED is lit up. So similarly, moving on to the next one, you can go to light speed, which is again something like this, and again you can have your sequence set as you want, what color follow next. Then you have rain, which is like raindrops. Then you have fireworks, which is basically somewhat similar. Then you have breathing, which is your normal breathing LED, and you have dynamic, which is again, I think it's a mixture of all the various effects that you see, and just sort of gives random colors. As of the moment, teleport, flame, voltage, countdown and rhythm are not activated as such, but maybe in your system it will be. And you can also switch off the LED, or you can keep it at 10% brightness in case if you want a really dim light setup, you're working late in the night, you don't want really the lights falling on your eyes. Then you have information on DDR5, which you can see from the XMP profile, and you can see the settings that you've set here.
for slot number 1 and slot number 2, which is basically the populated slots. So it's not slots on your motherboard, but it's just basically what slots you have populated. Then you have something which you can add your RGB profiles and save them. And you have the settings, which is basically language and startup. And that's pretty much about the Fury Control software.
So why Kingston? Kingston is the world's #1 memory brand, and its memory modules are widely used in various types of computers such as data servers, office workstations, mini PCs, etc. And its gaming brand Fury is also being used in many gaming PCs worldwide. In my experience as a system builder, Kingston products have been quite reliable. Alright then, let us test these RAMs out and see how the DDR5 memory performs. For the test system, we will be going all out featuring the new AMD Ryzen 9 7950X processor with 16 cores and 32 threads with a base clock speed of up to 5.7 GHz. As for the motherboard, we will be using the Asus ROG Strix X670E e-gaming, which is good enough to ensure the CPU and the memory gets clean voltage. As for the storage, we will be using the Kingston Renegade 500GB Gen 4 NVMe SSD. And of course, for the graphics card, we will be using the NVIDIA RTX 3070 Founders Edition. The cooler will be AK400 because it has a TDP rating of 220 watt as stated on their website, and the 7950X has a default TDP of 170 watts, so why not? First, we take a look at some gaming benchmarks in 1440p resolutions.
Alright, here we are looking at the game benchmarks. In CSGO, we have reached 348 FPS, in Cyberpunk 25 FPS, Fortnite 100 FPS, Forza Horizon 172 FPS, God of War 83 FPS, GTA 5 147 FPS, Horizon Zero Dawn 104 FPS, Red Dead Redemption 78 FPS, Shadow of the Tomb Raider 129 FPS, Spider-Man 123 FPS, Stray 172 FPS, and The Witcher 3 104 FPS. Keeping in mind we have the settings at 1440p resolution on Ultra.
Here are some other benchmarks. So in conclusion, DDR5 is anyway a necessity for the new AMD 7000 series platform, and with prices going lower, it seems to be a good time to consider jumping to the newer and faster DDR5 memory while gaining extra performance with the latest CPU, storage and graphics hardware, especially in gaming and productivity apps in resolutions from 1440p and above. That's it from me. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and share the video, and I shall see you next time.